Hey, how's it going guys? This is Dave 2D and this is the MSI VR One. And in late 2016, I think this is literally the best VR experience you can get on the market right now. So it's a VR backpack, and the very first time I saw a VR backpack was at CES 2016. And at the time, honestly, I thought they looked really silly, like just not very useful. But now that I've tried one, they're pretty awesome. By itself, it's a pretty unassuming box. I mean, if you just had this thing sitting around with a monitor connected to it, it wouldn't be that weird. It can function as a small and powerful computer. It's well built, plastic, but durable, and you can power it with the AC adapter. But when you're ready, you attach some straps, unplug the power, connect your VR equipment, and it becomes this completely portable VR setup. So I use the HTC Vive, but it works with the Oculus Rift as well. There's a short cable to reduce some of the cabling from the Vive, and the rest of the cables can be tucked into the framing here. You just need to leave some to be able to move your headset around. Now, this thing was built from the ground up. It's not just a laptop strapped to your back. It's designed to fit very comfortably on your back for extended periods of time. I had this thing on once for over 3 hours without any issues. It's around 3.6 kilos or 8 pounds. It's not super light, but it's a very manageable weight, and the strap system with the framing distributes the weight nicely. It's incredibly comfortable to use. You can access the internals pretty easily. There's a hatch that gives you access to the RAM slots and the drive bays. This unit comes with 16 gigs of RAM and a fast 512 gig SSD. There's room for a second drive, and on the inside it's running a Skylake 6820HK and a GTX 1070. There's a lower spec model with a 256 gig drive and a GTX 1060. And when it's idle, it's dead silent, no fan spin, and under full gaming load, it's still really quiet. It's just over 40 decibels. You won't be able to hear this thing when you're using it with headphones, and the hot air exhausts out the side so you don't get sweaty from it. Battery life is estimated at 90 minutes, and I was able to comfortably hit that with every single charge. It's a pretty conservative estimate. There are 2 batteries, hot swappable, so you can eject one side and the system still works. Frame rates are poor when there's only one battery. You can't really play on one, but it allows you to pop in fresh batteries in the middle of a game. So if you have extra batteries and the external charger, you could theoretically play forever. Now you're probably wondering, what is the point of a VR backpack? Like, what makes them special? So here's the deal. When you use a regular VR setup, there's always a bunch of cables that run from your headset over to the computer or the laptop or whatever you have running the setup. And your brain kind of subconsciously keeps track of those cables. So even though you get into your game and you're doing your thing, having fun, the moment your feet or your leg or your body touches that cable, it just pulls you back to reality a bit. And it's not enough to ruin the game. The game is still fun, but the immersion isn't 100%. So something as simple as Job Simulator. This is a game where you do a bunch of stuff while you're walking around in a really small area. And with cables on the floor, because you're turning around back and forth, you constantly need to step over your cables. With the VR One, there's none of that. Everything is contained and the experience is so much more believable and enjoyable. And this applies to any type of game. It's especially pronounced in action games where you're ducking and dodging and just being super active. Those games are already a lot of fun, but playing them with the VR One is a better experience. Now there's clearly a cable running from my backpack off camera. It's there because I had to connect a second monitor. It was the only way I could record gameplay footage. But when I was playing without having to record gameplay, it was so much better. Because pricing starts at $2,000, it's a pretty steep premium to get into the whole untethered VR space. But if you are a VR enthusiast, or you know what, if you're just someone who's interested in picking up a dedicated system for VR, take a look at this one. It's expensive, but it gives a unique next level VR experience. And if that's what you're looking for, this thing delivers. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. It's been nice. I'll see you guys next time.